Hi there, Amy Kunkel here. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm over at crazybeautiful.com, and I'm going to show you today how to make an embossed background using cutouts from your Butterflies Thinlits dies. I've already cut out 3 different butterflies, or 2 different butterflies, 3 butterflies total, from one of the backing pieces from my designer series paper. So it's a heavier cardstock, but it's not quite as heavy as chipboard. So I've got my butterflies here and I'm going to arrange them on a piece of fun foam. And this fun foam I just picked up at a craft store, and it'll serve as kind of a soft receiving piece there for my card. So you're gonna just arrange them however you would like your impression to be, and I have the cut side down and I feel like I get a little bit sharper image as opposed to having it face down. So this is the back of my butterfly. So here you go. So set them on like you want them to emboss, and you're going to make your sandwich much the same as if you were using a Thinlit. So you can either use your magnetic platform or just your full multi-purpose cutting platform, and your cutting plate, the fun foam, then your cardstock, and your butterflies. And then one more cutting plate on top. There you go. And you can see the impressed image on my card base, okay? If you would like a little bit deeper image, you can always add a shim, like an additional piece of cardstock or 2. But I think this for my card is perfect because it's a kind of a general background pattern. And I'm going to show you the other technique that I used on my card today, and that is applying crystal effects to my vellum butterfly. So let's grab that. Okay, I'm going to start with throwing down a new dryer sheet and my vellum, my butterfly die, and the rest of my sandwich here, and just basically cutting my butterfly out of vellum. You're going to want to use a paper piercer or something to poke out all of your little holes. Okay, then for the second part of this technique, I'm using crystal effects. The one thing you want to think about when you're using this is not to shake the bottle. You don't want to like flip it upside down and shake it to get it to come out, because that just adds little bubbles in your solution and you don't want that. I'm going to just grab a couple of glue dots and a scrap piece of paper. This is just a piece of printer paper, and I'm just going to roll my glue dot up a little bit with my paper piercer and pick like 3 points on this butterfly to secure down. And what this is going to do is it's just going to hold that butterfly in place. And when it starts drying, it has a tendency to curl. So what you don't want to happen is for it to be covered with crystal effects and then have it start curling up. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a couple spots on here to hold it down, and then you're probably going to need to clear out your tip with a little pin, and then I'm gonna lift this up because when you're applying the crystal effects, you're just going to follow the lines basically. And squeeze it onto the butterfly. You might need to tilt it at an angle to see where the shine is. And you're just going to proceed to cover the entire butterfly with crystal effects. It actually dries quite fast, so after I get this on, I'm going to leave it sit for maybe 15-20 minutes, and you can just gently feel it with your finger, but it's kind of a rubbery coating. It's really cool. While you're at it, if you want, well, this is wet, you could add a sprinkling of glitter. That might be kind of fun. Crystal Effect serves as a glue and also just as an epoxy, like raised, I don't know, like a raised coating. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do this. And I don't know about you, but I don't use my crystal effects enough to really use much of this bottle, so I don't mind covering an entire butterfly or two to get this really cool transparent technique. And a lot comes in this bottle. I've probably had this bottle for 5 years, so you gotta kind of consider maybe it's time to get a new one and find some cool technique to use up the old one. Okay, once you get done covering the entire butterfly with crystal effects, you're just going to set it aside to dry. And if you've gone over the line a little bit and it's sticking to the paper, maybe after about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, just go ahead and pick it up off the page. It won't create too tough of a bond that you won't be able to move that. So I just kind of ran my paper piercer under the edges, and maybe after about 10 minutes go ahead and do that again. And once it's fully dry, you can use your paper piercer to pull it up off of your scrap paper. Okay, so here's my butterfly. It's about dry. I am going to take it off and let it dry the rest of the way, just sitting on my mat here. And I actually kind of kept the glue dots attached to the butterfly, so when you peel it up, you can get your paper piercer under there and just pull the little glue dot on, and then you can use this when you're ready to adhere it to your card. You're going to just position a couple of glue dots under your butterfly to hold them in place. So thank you so much for watching me. I hope you enjoyed these techniques using your butterfly Thinlits dies. And make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything, and stop over at my blog, and have a great day.